Welcome to the virtual Irish Hills here in Michigan, at the Michigan International Speedway. Tonight we have the Stampede Racing League race number 4 of quarter number 2 as qualifying just currently getting underway here for Michigan, as we're going to see a great race tonight. We're going to see a lot of drafting, a lot of dirty air, but first we'll see what the track position of all these drivers will matter as well. That's currently qualifying, currently still underway, as we have a few drivers on the racetrack getting setting their lap times. See a bunch of different lanes that could be forming as well. You see Cole Steiner running that outside lane, trying to get the run coming to the line.
Going to his first time lap here this time by.
Want to get as big as a run as you can.
I saw him ripping the top in 1 and 2. We'll see what he does in 3 and 4. He's going to also rip the top side. Not sure if that's the fastest way around the racetrack, but we'll see what happens here. As Senior goes pole right now.
This is definitely just a prep lap again, trying to get that second lap up to speed. As there's Hunter Senior, he goes to the top of the board. Zach Ramirez completing his run right now, 39.283. He goes to P10, P10 actually, bottom of the board.
Jared Scaring there goes top of the board.
P8. As here comes Zach Ramirez going through 3 and 4, going to try and run the bottom. You want to keep it right, kind of right around that first seam there. Preferably under below it in 3 and 4. Kind of want to run a little bit higher in 1 and 2 compared you want to run in 3 and 4, but here comes Meredith down the front straightaway, come across the line at 38.78.
Ooh, so
Let's
close.
go P1.
No, it was pole actually. Time was off there on the screen. He is pole position as Cole Steiner moves himself up to 6th place on his second lap. So it looks like the second lap a little bit quicker than the first lap. Kind of like most racetracks, I would say. Now Donnie Kite currently in 12th in qualifying.
See what Kite can do coming through 1 and 2 as of now. The second lap, the fast lap. That Splash and Go graphics machine down, rockets down the back straightaway. Currently 39.409 on the sheet. Let's see if he can pick it up about half a sec. He needs about a little bit more than half a second if he wants to put it on the pole. It was 3 and 4, looked pretty well, slid up a little bit, pretty low on exit, coming across the line now and gets on the apron. Donnie Kite, a 38.985. That's going to put him P6, 92, to put him P6 on the board. So you have 1 driver left to qualify, and that is Giovanni Klein, but he's not in the session. Kenneth Cheney and Kyle Taub have both were their first lap, and they are sitting in pits, so that will wrap up qualifying. So Dak Meredith will be on the pole for tonight's race.
Yeah, maybe not the most important pole, but you know, pole position definitely is still something to be excited about. But like you kind of mentioned, it's going to be a lot of drafting, especially with this NextGen Car at Michigan. And I think we're probably going to expect some long runs here, so pit stop's definitely going to be in consideration. So kind of like a mini plate race in a way. One thing to note, Mark Kissenweather not here tonight. He's won the past 2 races at Darlington and Phoenix.
Yeah, we'll also see as well. With the drafting and dirty air. So track position does matter a good bit here. I would think it's just kind of hard to pass. You'd think it'd be a little bit easier with the draft, but it definitely can at some points. But once the tires start to wear off, it kind of gets really hard, especially to move up. You'll have the draft, but it just lose so much time in the corners. It's just you gotta manage your tire wear well, and also manage the dirty air and manage the draft all at the same point. So it's a very fine line you have to manage, especially to keep that track position and move your way up front as well. So we're gonna see who can master that the best as they currently gritting up now.
We'll race info, 80 laps in total, 160 miles for tonight's event. A quick look at our starting grid here at Michigan.
Starting on the pole will be that 6th machine of Zachary Meredith in that red JuicySpydr machine with a 38.778 to put it on the top of the board, just about a 10th over his teammate in that blue JuicySpydr machine of Jared Skinner, that 60 machine. Starting P3 in a 17 machine tonight, Piso Wings Chevrolet. Starting P3, Dylan Chappell, Hunter Sr. Alongside him, that high side podcast machine. Josh Arnold starting 5th, the Coltos Cards 22 machine, and Donnie Kite, the blue splashing graphics in the 6 machine. That's starting 6th in 2 machine. Cole Steiner will start 7th tonight in that 24 machine. Brock Morris will start the 05, start 8th in the 05 machine. Starting 9th tonight will be the 21 car of Kyle Taub and Tubbs Graphics, and alongside him will be Jacob Wilson in the 51 car, starting in P number 10. Starting 11th tonight will be the 76 of Nathan Johnson, that red Splash Go Graphics machine, and the other Tubbs Graphics car of AJ Hudson will start 12th. 13th will be the 28 of Jimmy Geikis and that old Exide Batteries machine, starting 13th, and Kenneth Cheney will start 14th, the 75 car. Our 15 car field tonight will be the 5 of Giovanni Klein, but I don't think he's in the session, so you might see that Cheesy Designs car out there tonight if he joins in a little bit later. 14 cars out of the racetrack as of now as they're going to start rolling, doing their parade laps, their pace laps, and getting ready to go for 80 laps tonight around the 2-mile racetrack of Michigan. We'll see if who will be able to come out on top after 80 laps. But currently, it's going to be a couple pace laps as all these drivers are going to get their pre-race nerves out of the way, just warm up their tires a little bit, and just have to focus ahead for the next 80 laps. But 24 laps for stage number 1. So we'll have to see how that will play out and who will push for the stage, or who will just kind of, maybe if we get a late stage caution, we will flip the stage as well.
Yeah, that's definitely something to play a factor. And I think with these tires also as well, not wearing as much as a track like Auto Club, which is very similar to Michigan. Just I would say the tire wear at Auto Club is a lot worse than here at the newer repaved Michigan. I think tire is not going to be the biggest factor in tonight's race as well.
And while these drivers head down, getting their pace laps underway, we're going to bring in our pole sitter. If I can find him in the Discord, and yeah, he is. So we'll bring in our pole sitter of Zachary Meredith to put it on the pole tonight, over a 10th over his teammate of Jared Skinner. How that qualifying lap feel to you, and how are you going to be able to use this pole to your advantage?
Just try to dictate the draft, being the leader, and hopefully not get passed by anyone besides my teammate. But the pole lap was all right. I didn't think I was going to win the pole. I kind of messed up turn 2, and I didn't think I carried enough speed down the backstretch. And when I hit the 7, I looked at the leaderboard and seen I was a 10th faster, and I was pretty shocked, especially when I only had 2 laps of practice.
Yeah, but it was good enough to put it on the pole tonight. We'll see your JuicySpydr, red JuicySpydr gaming car out front for at least a little bit, hopefully. But good luck in the rest of the race, and we'll maybe talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Hopefully.
So that was our pole sitter of Zachary Meredith. As we'll see how well he can hold that up front and hold his track position, as we'll have to see if some drivers maybe can move up and master that dirty air, master the tire wear. We'll see in this first stage with the dirty air as well.
Yeah, a little weather. It's pretty cool actually. 74 degrees, air temp, 80-degree track temp, and it's 6 p.m. actually in Michigan sometime. So it's only get cooler from here on out. It's gonna be pretty high grip racetrack overall.
Yep, and the pace car gonna take that hard left turn onto pit road, and Meredith and Skinner lead him to the Guy Car Research Zone. We're underway for tonight's race here at Michigan, race number 4 of quarter number 2.
Meredith leads down the back. He clears. Side by side behind him, Dylan Chappell and Jared Skinner for second right now.
As off of turn 4, side by side for the lead. Chapel on the bottom, but he's going to get but Meredith's going to push from his teammate of Jared Skinner, and Hunter Jr. is going to follow right behind him. So Dylan Chapel kind of on alone down to the bottom so far. We'll see if he can slot in front of Senior here in 3 and off of 2, but still every gap kind of filled up on that outside lane, so Chapel's going to have to just kind of side draft on the straightaways.
Yeah, I see the pack's still pretty big right now. 1.5 laps into it. We'll see how spread out this gets after around 10 laps or so. I think after around 10 laps, the tire wear started to eat up a little bit as here comes Hunter Senior to the bottom. Challenging for the race lead.
Yeah, side by side for lead. Hunter Senior gonna go to the inside lane, gonna try and pull Zach Meredith back with that side draft. There's 3 wide for third, right behind him, but Brock Morris on the way out of the outside lane. Dylan Chapel on the bottom, and Jared Skinner in the middle, but a little bit of contact with Skinner and Chapel. Chapel's gonna make a little bit of contact with Skinner, and Skinner's gonna hard the outside wall and collect Brock Morris.
Wow.
In a early crash here on lap number 3.
Yes, it looks like Skinner was trying to save it, just overcorrected hard on the outside wall big time in turn 1 and 2. Major damage to that 16 machine. And his net will easily be over there. Wow.
Let's take a look here. I think as Chapel just kind of slid up the racetrack just a little bit with Jared Skinner. Got Jared Skinner a little bit loose, and it just kind of overcorrected here, as we'll see. So Chapel just comes up, and Skinner just slightly loose. Big overcorrected. This car is very snappy, and he just got straight up on the outside wall. That's definitely just unfortunate for Brock Morris and Jared Skinner. As Jared Skinner just getting the car snapping, just getting the best of him there. And Brock Morris also big heavy damage. Brock Morris does not have a meatball flag, so he does have an opportunity to come back into this race, but he's gonna have a lot of damage to repair. But Jared Skinner, his night will definitely be over after that one. Big damage to the front of the race car.
Yeah, just Brock Morris kind of an innocent bystander there. Bringing out the first yellow of the night here on lap number 2. Not number 3, excuse me. Looks like no one, a few drivers coming down pit lane, maybe topping off some fuel. You got Donnie Kite, Jacob Wilson, 3 drivers, and obviously Brock Morris and Jared Skinner coming down pit lane. And Morris gonna continue. Skinner obviously has that pretty much done for the night. Way too badly damaged on that right front. Pretty sure it's broken there, but Kite and Wilson, I think, just topping off on fuel here. Actually, tires. Twisting all there for Donnie Kite. Not sure if you want to take 4 tires on lap 5 and waste a set there. But, we'll see how it plays out as Westfield single file down the back. Hunter Senior leads here early in this one. Took the race lead away from Becker Meredith coming to the line right before that caution came out.
And he'll have the luxury of starting on the front row, starting on the pole position, being a control car. The Meredith still holds that outside lane. We'll hold the front row, so track position ain't gonna matter. But Donnie Kite also taking tires. Wonder if that was just kind of a error, not unchecking your tires coming out pit road. Maybe he's just trying to top it off. This is 75% fuel. Normally the fuel tank can be about 40 laps on fuel here at Michigan, I believe. Roughly around 35, 40. So probably are going to be around 30 laps. Is probably going to be around where the fuel number will be for these drivers. So just top it off on fuel just a little bit, maybe get a little bit extra fuel if you're already in the back line as well. But we'll see if those extra little bit of tires help. I think it could happen if we go green to the end of the stage. We'll have to see how that plays out for Donnie Kite.
Yeah, I mean, fuel only there would be fine, but the tires call very interesting to me at least. I just don't think that Michigan 2.5, 3 laps on tires is really worth pitting there, but you never know. Any advantage could help here in this one, but not sure exactly. I think they have 4 extra sets in total, so they only have 4 extra sets for an 80 lap race. I mean, 3 extra sets right now for Donnie Kite, so not sure how it's gonna play out for him.
We'll see. Is yeah. Also, just only 4 extra sets. You really typically don't want to take it this early, but 4 extra sets. That's about this with the amount of laps here. That's every 15 laps on a set of tires to split them all the way evenly. So it's not that long. We'll see how these tires last and help out. So probably Donny K hoping he can go to the end of the stage. He took his tires up just a tad bit early there, but we'll see. I think it could give him a little bit extra grip later in the race, especially if he maybe thought he burned up his tires in his first couple of laps. We'll see. It's going to be managing that dirty air, managing the draft for pretty much the majority of this first stage. We'll see. Pace car is off back to the guy restart zone. We're back underway here from Michigan, and Arnold Senior, the control car on the outside lane. Great restart as he's going to move down in front of Jackie Meredith before he gets into turn 1, but he's good couple car lengths ahead going into turn number 1 and 2. Dylan Chapel going to take the outside lane though, going to have that clean air up there. The side by side with Meredith for second, but he's going to be able to clear Meredith for second. But now going to be side by side for third between Snyder and Meredith.
As Chapel has a draft there, he's going to have a huge run. Well, he looked to the inside and was going to stay behind for now.
Just pushed it. Senior along.
Yeah, I wonder if these guys just kind of save fuel, stay single file, wait until around the end of lap 24, which is about 17 more laps till the stage. So, I mean, still have a long way for the stage. I mean, save your tires as much as you can. Just be at the end. I mean, it's mostly just a big pack of cars here in Michigan just battling it out in these next gens. Kind of like I mentioned before, a mini plate race, but Dylan Chapel takes race lead, Cole Snyder goes up to second. Josh Arnold with a big move to the inside, turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, side by side off of turn 4 is Senior's getting cleared there by that 22. So Arnold's gonna be able to clear him, but now Senior's stuck on the bottom as Meredith goes around his outside.
Big shove there from Zachary Meredith to Josh Arnold. Arnold looked to the inside of Cole Snyder, but not able to make it work. Senior seems like he really likes that bottom lane, but he has no draft ahead of him. He's going to get freight trained, I think, to the back.
Now Meredith going to try to clear up for third, but Arnold's going to have the nose there on the outside lane. Side by side down the front straightaway.
Yeah, they're going to go 3 wide behind. There's a little tandem jacking up ahead as well. Nathan Johnson is almost 4 wide now here in 1 and 2.
And Cheney almost sticks it middle 4 wide there under Josh Arnold, but he's going to be 3 wide with side by side with Johnson off the corner. Senior's going to fall back even more. Meredith so struggling now. The track position starting to fall back for those 2 drivers as Chapel holds the lead as of now. But Cheney's starting to move his way up, trying to get that to the bottom. Tries to get the inside of Arnold, not going to be able to get the nose there, but Arnold's going to get the nose on Snyder, and that's going to allow Cheney to get up to the outside of him, down the front straightaway. Arnold's going to slot in line, barely there, but here comes Nathan Johnson now on the bottom, try to poke his nose out, maybe try to make a move under Cheney into 1.
Guys, man, Hunter Senior fall back big time. Third, first place on the restart, now down to 9th place. We'll see what he can do here. Has a lot of movers throughout the field, so it seems like you can really make your way through the field. Dirty air, not the biggest issue here tonight so far.
Yeah, just everyone's just trying to just get clean air on the nose and stay out of the way and try and get the draft off the corner. But side by side for second now as Cheney actually clears down the straightaway. The center slots back in line, but Cheney moving up through the field. He's up to second now after starting 14th.
Brock Morris was involved in the last wreck. He's riding around just by himself in 13th place, a little bit off pace, about half a second off pace. So I mean, if you can get a few more cautions, obviously has a stage caution as well, so you can maybe fix up that damage and maybe be competitive again. He didn't have a lot of time to fix his damage under that last caution though, but still, as they're really racy up front.
Everyone's racing very hard as Arnold giving that big shove to Nathan Johnson. Almost gets into Kyle Taub a little bit down through 1 and 2, but now 3 wide between Johnson, Meredith, and Taub. Now Taub's going to get cleared there, but side by side with Arnold. As Arnold's going to slot in line as well. So everyone's single files out, but they'll fan out to come into turn 3 here. As Arnold's Signer is close on the race lead for Chapel, but he still stays right behind him. The side by side between Johnson and Meredith now as Meredith tries to get back up front.
Johnny to the inside as well. Cole Snyder will be side by side. The Snyder has a draft and a big shot from Nathan Johnson. Surprising look to the inside there of Doan Chapel. He's actually going to the outside lane. He gets his right rear quarter panel.
And what it seems like, you just don't want to let it go to the bottom. If you can't find your way up, you're kind of just gonna get freight train on the outside lane, and that's what it seems to be like. And no one wants to go to the bottom unless you really want to try something. And everyone's staying up to the outside lane, trying to get as Meredith's trying the bottom. But I mean, we've seen it, and it's working now side by side with Snyder. But if he fails here, I mean, he'll just fall back and get freight trained again. But we'll see. He might have a hole to slot up in before he gets on the 1. Won't, but he's going to stay side by side with Snyder. They're driving in deep through the center, see if he can slot it behind Snyder off of turn 2.
I believe he's going to be behind him now and from Johnson. As it's still a big pack of cars so far. 10 cars deep in this one. I honestly do think all 10 of these drivers could win this stage here. That's how pack racing this has been so far. But Chapel's been doing a good job so far out front. But I don't really think anyone's been really challenging him too much. We've seen some drivers try to go to his outside, but here comes Snyder with a good run, so he's just going to stay behind him. Chapel's just kind of out in front, burning some fuel, kind of being a drafting car really out front. No one's been really trying to pass him so far these past few laps.
Yes, everyone's just trying to find their way in line and just trying to make moves up. It's just trying to pretty much kind of like leapfrogging on the super speedways, but instead of 2 defined lines, kind of everyone on the racetrack. Currently side by side between Kenneth Cheney and Cole Snyder now as Cheney makes the move on the high lane. It's now Snyder falls back to 4. Oh, contact with Meredith! Meredith's gonna go sideways. He's gonna almost overcorrect it, but he's gonna save it. Nathan Johnson in his back bumper. That's gonna slow Nathan Johnson up, but that's gonna split the field in half. But a great save from Zach Meredith.
Well, let's say that, but that's really splits the pack up as now the top 5 have kind of pulled away from the rest of the field. Can these guys catch back up before they end the stage? The top 2 trying to tandem away.
They're trying to get away, but I don't think they will be able to. We'll see, though. I mean, they're still pushing away, but Hunter Sr., he's going to have a little bit of work to do. He's going to have to push his corners a little bit. But as soon as Chapel probably tries to take the race lead away from from Kenneth Cheney, might not work out, but we'll see. They're trying to pull away, but here, still plenty of time left in the stage.
Yeah, plenty of time, and I think with how big this track has been, as we've seen so far, just pretty much pack racing so far tonight, as Hunter Sr. Donnie Kite back up into this thing already, and Kite has a little fresher tires compared to these drivers up ahead. It only might be 3 laps, but at this point, any difference matters here late in the stage.
And this also means for every spot here matters as well for the track position at the start of the next stage as well. And getting down pit road, but right now they're single file for the top 4, as that almost wrecked with Zachary Meredith. A great save he had there. Swidley split the field up as Cole Snyder's trying to get back up to the front pack of 4. Everyone's single file trying to close the gap. We'll see if they can get there, but there's still 5 to go here in stage number 1. Don't know if they will be able to. It's going to be between these 4, I think, most likely. It's actually threw at their moment off of turn number 2, but now they'll single file back out down into turn 3. As now Kite moves up to 2nd, as he does have a few laps of fresher tires, so I think that might start to be playing a factor now.
Yeah, I'm not
Especially
sure.
the tire wear is starting to matter.
Not sure how much of a factor it is playing, but he's worked his way through the field, avoided the wrecks, avoided the half spins, I guess, from Zach Mira. Now he has a chance to win the stage here with 4 laps to go.
Yeah, kiting out to the outside. I think he's going to be able to get his nose on the right rear of Kenneth Cheney. Not going to be close enough. Cheney's going to almost give a lane there, but now he's going to cross him over back to the bottom. Side by side for the lead as they enter 3. Kite going to stay alongside. Going to try and drive it in there deep and try to pull the slider on Cheney through 3 and 4.
Because he's going to clear easily by like 5-6 car lengths there. Because he might just be sitting duck out in front right now.
But they're side by side for second, and that's not going to help him. That's going to help him even more. The senior and Cheney going to have to try and work together. Both high side podcast machines off at turn number 2. As now Kite down to the bottom. Going to try and break the draft from those 2 drivers up top. So he really wants the stage, but he was way up the racetrack at 3 and 4. It's going to cost him a little bit of time. You really don't want to give. You don't really want to give that clean air to the bottom.
Look behind them. Cole Snyder, Kyle Todd, Josh Allen working together, a 3-car tandem. Back here, they can get up here in 2 laps or so, maybe challenge for that stage win, or at least the top 3 finish in the stage.
I think he'd probably pick off Chapel, maybe
it's gonna be
Senior,
tough
but
to
I
get
don't
the
know if they can get all the way up
Kite.
to Donnie Kite. It's gonna be really hard to do it unless they all work together in one lane. But Kite still bringing the draft on Cheney. Cheney running the bottom again. Clean air all the way down there. I think Kite just trying to focus on the run off the corner. That's allowing Cheney to get the close enough gap, and he's gonna have the help from Senior. Cheney, one more corner like that, he should be close enough to get the Kite. As Kite's really bringing the draft all the way down to the apron on the first straightaway. As
Good
everyone
stuff from
follows
Senior.
him, final lap for the stage. It's here comes Senior and Cheney now. Cheney down to the bottom. Gonna run the middle of the racetrack. He's gonna have the nose to the bottom. Gonna barely be there off the corner exit. Can't pull him back yet, but side by side. Now single
What
file.
a move there. They break the draft.
Tight to the block, but that's gonna allow Cheney to barely get there to the outside. But blocking through the corner. Cheney's gonna get the Kite in the bumper, and that's gonna send Kite off the racetrack. He's gonna get loose. Dylan Chapel on the bottom, on the apron. Use the apron. He's gonna be able to clear it all. As here comes Cole Snyder with a run to steal second, but Dylan Chapel's gonna pick up the stage with 3-wide drag race for second, and it's gonna go to Cole Snyder, and then Hunter Senior and Kenneth Cheney will take second, third, and fourth respectively, and then Josh Arnold will round out 5th in the stage. There's a great stage finish there.
Looks like a finish of the race.
Aggressive.
Not just the stage. Only lap 24, 25.
And now that will allow everyone to get come down and get fresh tires and fuel, as Kite will definitely need tires after that slot he had, but he was in the lead going into 3, and he finishes stage number 1 in 6th. They did get a little bit sorted out as everyone was still collecting themselves after the finish. After the stage,
Honestly,
stage caution does not get through until 10th, so that's why it took so long for the yellow.
10th place was a little further back, so and honestly, I do think Kite's newer tires, even though they were only 3 laps newer, they honestly did look a lot better. So maybe the tire was a lot bigger than we initially thought. This Kite was able to he was really the only driver to pull away big time and keep that gap for at least 3 laps or so. It took a little bit for these drivers to get back up with him. I think tire wear a little bit more important here tonight than at least I thought going into tonight.
It definitely won't matter. We'll probably start to see it spread out after about 20-25 laps, especially if we get the pit stops in this final stage. We'll see if we get there. We have a long final stage ahead of us. As everyone's going to come down pit road, try and get 4 fresh tires. You could see someone take 2 tires. It's definitely a strategy call here with the next gen. I don't think we'll see that under caution, but we could definitely see that under green. I think we will.
Yeah, I think we 100% will see that under green. But under caution, there's not really that big of an advantage, especially if a pack race kind of like this. Track position hasn't really mattered too much, I would say, tonight.
And off of pit road, we'll see if Chapel can hold the lead, and he will. As Josh Arnold will hop to second.
Most of the order stays about the same. Everyone takes 4 tires. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Brock Morris, Nathan Johnson trying to fix some of their damage. Obviously, Brock Morris, severe damage from that first wreck on lap number 3. Obviously, Nathan Johnson, he had that incident there as well in the middle of the pack with Zachary Meredith. But he doesn't look too badly damaged on that 76 machine. Flash and go designs.
That doesn't look too badly damaged there. I think he was able to get the fix. Maybe he had a couple seconds of damage. That's what he said on pit road a little bit. Now they double up for the start of stage number, the final stage. Before we get there, let's bring in our stage winner of Dylan Chapel, who's running 4th there, going into 3, but was running first off of 3 and 4 there. So just walk us through that stage finish there.
That was fun. I wasn't expecting that. I thought I'd just finish 3rd, to be honest with you, but I just got as low as possible, thinking they might wreck or something. So that worked out pretty good.
Yeah, notice you're on the apron there a little bit in 3 and 4.
Oh yeah,
make that car handle really bad, or does it feel pretty good there?
It gets pretty loose down there. That's why I almost wrecked it myself. So.
All right, well, congrats on the stage win, and good luck in the rest of the race.
Thanks, man.
So that was our stage winner, Dylan Chapel. So we'll see if he can carry that momentum through the rest of the race, as we're going to restart with just over 52 to go, I believe 51 to go here from Michigan. So still a while to go. We'll see pretty much 2 stages left, pretty much the double length there, but green flag back in the air. So we start lap number 29. It's Dylan Chapel off to a great restart, clear by a couple car lengths over Josh Arnold and Cole Snyder, battling side by side for seconds the inner one.
As Chapel gets an amazing launch right there. Snyder will be able to clear on the top side. Not quite, but he's got the draft of Dylan Chapel, I believe, down the back straightaway. But still, it's double foul pretty much 3 rows deep, as now 3 wide. Here comes Zachary Meredith to the inside. Can he make it sick and move himself up to second? Not quite. He's going to get a little tight off turn 4. But they still stay 3 wide for second place.
Yes, 3 wide. Now back to 2 as Meredith's going to slot up behind Arnold. He had to push from senior there, going in 1 and 2.
Snyder does clear now. Behind him is Donnie Kite pushing him up there as he's up to 3rd. Arnold slots back in line ahead of Kyle Taub. Ooh, smoke in the back there is Nathan Johnson. Losing it.
Oh, big sideways way up the racetrack again on the wall.
I'm not sure what led up to that point. I saw smoke there for a second. Let's get a quick look at that one. Side by side with Jacob Wilson there, entering turn 3 and 4. No.
Oh, got hit by 69 there.
He just could not save it, as the outside wall he goes. Back out front, Donnie Kite side by side with Josh Arnold. Side drafting here tonight's been pretty important, and honestly, if you side draft a little bit too much, you might hurt your chances as behind. Josh Owens getting eaten up from Kyle Todd, Hunter Sr., and the rest of the gang behind trying to get by. Pretty wide here for around 6th place.
Cheney gets on the outside lane, he's gonna get clear there, but side by side between Meredith and Geikis. Geikis in the X-Side 6 machine there, the custom number 6. 20 on our timing tower, but now Donnie Kite moves down to the bottom. He almost gets his nose to the inside of Cole Snyder for a second, but not going to make it there. He's going to slot back up in line. No, he won't, as Arnold's going to get to his outside. So if he slots back up in line behind Arnold, he will.
Oh, but here comes Hunter Sr. with a good show from Kyle Todd. Senior's going to be by himself, but he's going to have clean air. So, I mean, you kind of have the risk reward. To run the bottom lane, it's a little slower maybe off the exit, but you have clean air. But you kind of just get freight trained on the outside lane from this big pack of cars. So Senior on the inside, you kind of just see right there, you run the inside one time, loses 2 positions, and maybe even more here. He's just kind of just stuck on the bottom.
Damn it. Off of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway. It's everyone's single file, but trying to build their runs to maybe make a move down to turn 1. As this moment like this is really determines where your tires, how your tires get worn, and if you can start to move up later, he'll be able to make easier moves. And just if you're on the top lane, it definitely eats up your tires a little bit more compared to the bottom. You also don't want to run the bottom too long. If you run the bottom too long, you might allow someone that is running the top to freight train you on the outside lane. So you gotta really manage it well. That's how races are won here in Michigan. That's how you can save your tires in moments like this where you're dirty, air. Now, you can't really get by on the bottom. Can't really get by on the top without really putting a lot of heat in your tires. You just kind of have to wait it out, wait for the tires to come into factor, maybe wait for a mistake to happen. But side by side now, Senior, he'll hop back up in line behind Arnold. Arnold's gonna try to break the draft from him. The side by side between Kite and Tom and Geikis. This Geikis gonna get all the way around the outside. He's gonna go 2 for 1 off a turn into 3 and 4. Just go to the outside of Donnie Kite. He's gonna move up to P number 5. This guy's gonna slot back in line behind Geikis.
Geikis moving his way up through the field now, and I think track position later in these runs is gonna be a little bit more important once these tires start wearing out. Kind of like an IndyCar race. I want to set yourself up for the best possible scenarios. Contact there on your Senior and Josh Arnold. Senior once again on the inside lane, gonna lose a bunch of spots. Like he's gained a bunch of spots on the inside, but he's lost a lot of spots on the inside line. Him and Donnie Kite pretty similar here tonight so far. But I think, like I was mentioning, track position is gonna be pretty important once these pit stops come up here. Probably around 20 laps or so. Be in the right place at the right time, and also you gotta probably work with someone. Try to have a drafting partner once you exit pit lane as well.
Yeah, roughly the fuel window of roughly about 30 laps, I would say. It's about 75% of what a normal fuel tank would be, which is about 40 laps, I would think. But so they can go all the way to about lap 60, so 20 to go. So we'll see if anyone stretches that long, or if someone tries to stretch it 30 and 30, if they try to split it in half, that will be about 30 to go, which is not too long, maybe about 10, 15 more laps. So we'll see if anyone starts to come down within about 10 laps. Side by side now between Josh Arnold and Cole Snyder. See where Snyder goes, how well he can hold that outside lane with Arnold. As Arnold's on the bottom, gonna try and slot up in front of Tom, and he will. Single file back out again, but everyone's just kind of really settling in for this long run. Arnold back to the bottom of Cole Snyder. Now he's had help from Kyle Tapia, so now it's starting to make a little bit of moves as Top got pushed Arnold to stay side by side. A strategic move there to maybe get to the outside of Arnold there in here in 1 and 2. It's gonna happen, but I think he's just kept the nose a little bit tight entering one. It's not going to be the loud one to get to the outside, so Arnold slots back in line. Kite's running back to the bottom again, trying to get to the inside of Geikis. Not going to be able to work.
Yeah, I think I mentioned before tire wear, so right now the fast lap time was a 38.6 for Dylan Chapel. Last time by he ran a 39 flat, so the tire fell off after around 10 laps or so, only around 4/10. Now even around 2/10 that time, so not a lot of fall off lap time wise, but handling it could be a different story. There's almost 3 wide for race lead there. All these different lanes these drivers are running.
Yeah, Arnold all the way down to the bottom, trying to get alongside Cole Snyder, but falls back behind Snyder as the inside lane, just starting to diminish on the runs. But it's now Kyle Taub back to the bottom, tries to find his way alongside. He gets by Josh Arnold, but not going to be able to do it. He's going to have a hole in front of Geikis, and he'll take it. But here comes Arnold. He's got a good run. We'll look to the bottom of Snyder now. See if he's trying to pull Snyder maybe in 1 and 2.
We almost had the opportunity there, just not a good enough run on the entry to turn 1. Snyder will get back by, most likely with the help of Chapel's draft up ahead as he moves him back up to 2nd. Arnold slots back behind in 3rd. I think right now everyone's kind of just settling in for the positions, running it out, saving their tires, maybe saving a little bit of fuel as well, just kind of saving on Chapel, because just like at Daytona or Talladega, the race leader is definitely going to be burning a lot more fuel than these guys behind, most likely.
Yeah, and it'll definitely hurt him a little bit more, and so he'll have to pretty much fit on by himself. No one else comes with
probably
him.
a lap or 2 early. Not. I would say probably a lap or 2 early, maybe for Chapel, just for the fuel. I'm not sure exactly how much fuel you would burn at Michigan exactly, but here comes the inside. Cole Snyder being under attack from Josh Arnold once again, but I think he's able to clear this time. He's almost for the race lead now. Side by side down the front shoulder they go.
All down to the bottom. Chapel on the outside lane. We'll see if Snyder comes down to push Arnold, but no, he's going to stay up to push Chapel. Cheney thought about pushing Snyder down to the bottom with him, but now it's going to be Snyder way up the racetrack. It's going to allow Chapel to stay side by side with Arnold, as Arnold's going to stay alongside, but Arnold no help down to the bottom. Down the back straightaway. Still side by side. Is a big shove from Snyder to Chapel. That's going to allow Snyder to hold on to 2nd here, as Arnold's going to have to really hope to get clear off of turn 4. I don't think he'll be able to do it. Snyder's going to be able to hold the outside, but now they're side by side behind him, so now Cheney's going to be able to push Arnold, but just doesn't have the run. And Taub's now going to be able to push Snyder all the way clear, as Cheney hops up behind, as Arnold does not have the gap to slot up, so he's just kind of sitting down on the bottom, starting to get a little bit of freight train. But now here comes Cheney, looks to the bottom of Taub, but now looks to the middle 3 with Arnold as well, but they're still now side by side, 2 deep down the back straightaway.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Chapel just kind of has his whole thing figured out, giving these guys Joe Year behind him, and not allowing these guys to get by him. I mean, with that clean air is such a huge advantage for Dylan Chapel. These guys really have to work together to try to get around him, I think. They haven't really been doing that so far.
Snyder there. Arnold got by Snyder there off of turn 4, and now he's got a good run down to the 1, but oh, Meredith goes around right to the back of the pack.
As they stay green, Donnie Kite though, major damage for him.
Kite, there's the caution. Is Donnie Kite involved? Now that's going to throw a fuel strategy into it.
It's good, yeah. It's going to be very close on fuel.
Is Donnie Kite, his night will be over.
Kite was just in the back there.
I don't think he was really nowhere to go. Just I think the side draft gone wrong with Meredith, and Meredith got loose, overcorrected back up into Donnie Kite. And Donnie Kite just wrong place, wrong time. Really nowhere to go for Donnie Kite.
Yeah, it's actually Meredith trying to side draft there on. I think that would have been interesting.
No, it was Jimmy Geikis. Get up the racetrack. He went right into Donnie Kite. Just nothing he can do.
And Meredith just trying to side draft a little bit too much, and he honestly paid the price for that one. But Kite really took the blunt of that damage there. Not sure how badly damaged Meredith is. I don't believe he has a meatball flag, so can definitely repair his damage and maybe be competitive again and get a right side view of this one. Possibly he doesn't build to until the front straightaway, but anyways, I'm expecting everyone else to come down pit lane this time by, as actually Josh Arnold has a race lead when the caution came out.
Yeah, he's able to get his nose out in front through the corner, and it was able to work out for Josh Arnold. So we'll see if tire strategies, fuel strategies here. We'll also see if anyone comes down to top it off. I don't think anyone will. I think everyone's going to want to keep their track position, but Josh Arnold, everyone down pit road with the exception of AJ Hudson, as he was 1 lap down, so he'll be the free pass. So you can come out of pit road first. So anyone can jump anyone off of pit road. Could see a 2-tire call, maybe a 4-tire. We'll see. Oh, Skinner, Meredith overshooting his stall just a little bit, but he did have a lot of damage on that right front. It cost him a little bit of time, but Arnold goes in first, comes out first. Oh, but Chapel will lose his final pit road to Cole Snyder, so mostly staying in the same off of pit exit though, as you're gonna roll it back to the base car. While we have the moment under this caution, we're gonna take a moment to step away. We'll be right back here for Michigan and over from our sponsors.
At NJBDesigns.com, we specialize in transforming your vehicle into a work of art by revolutionizing the way you see your car with the hottest trends in sim racing. Choose from a wide range of colors, textures, finishes to promote your business and sponsors in style. Whether you're looking to add a sleek matte finish, a flashy chrome accent, or a custom design that turns heads, our designers have you covered. If you want to stand out in the crowd, visit njbdesigns.com today and let our team of professionals transform your vision into reality.
Welcome back here to Michigan, here at the Irish Hills, as the virtual Irish Hills, as just saw that incident with Zachary Meredith and Donnie Kite take them out of the race, but the green flag back in the air with 32 laps to go. We could see a fuel mileage race here. We'll see how well these drivers can save a little bit of fuel, but Josh Arnold, a great restart side by side with Dylan Chappell and Cole Snyder for second, as Chappell's going to try and slot up in line. Valtov all the way down on the bottom. Not able to make it work though, but down a single file through most of the field except for Kyle Taub on the bottom. We'll see how well these drivers, if they can save enough fuel to make it to the end. It's going to be right on that number.
Yeah, around 30, that's kind of what we estimate here. They're going back green. Around 32 laps to go, so it's going to be pretty tight on fuel, from what we think at least, and whatnot. These guys still battling out here, as now Dylan Chapel could be the driver in second instead of the driver leading, so we'll see how big of a dirty air plays a factor in this one, as Josh Arnold now has the opportunity to maybe use that dirty air to his advantage. But here comes Chapel, instantly going to try to go to the inside and take that race lead back.
It tries to go down there, not going to be able to make it work, but off of turn number 4 is Cheney now side by side with Chapel. As this time about be 30 laps to go. So we're getting the final stretch of this race. Just got about 10 laps through, past halfway. So off of turn number 2, side by side for second still between the two high side podcast machines of Hunter Cheney on the outside and Kenneth Cheney on the bottom. But Cheney's going to clear up. He's going to single file it out as Dylan Chapel side by side with Jacob Wilson.
Senior gonna go to the outside, not quite clear yet as Arnold sidetracking big time there. As here comes Jimmy Geikus joining the picture here, bound for the race lead.
As Arnold's gonna try and clear up, not gonna be able to make it work. Is now Arnold gonna kind of get freight train on the bottom.
As well. Not sure exactly. Maybe give the whole draft.
Yeah, try to break the draft a little bit from the outside and maybe try and keep them side by side, but now it's just single file out.
Ooh, looks like Geigus got a little bit off
of 4.
Doesn't affect him though too much.
Now Cheney back to the bottom, side by side for third.
And it's mostly single file throughout the field here. Coming to 27 laps to go this time by. So I think that kind of just shows you, or tells you kind of a little bit of fuel saving might be going on throughout most of the field. Because we saw pretty much have been racing all night long, but now with 28 laps to go, they started single filing out for the most part.
Especially you could see he's just lifting a little bit early on the straightaways, maybe clutching going into the corners. Not really seeing that much from a lot of people, a lot of drivers. Just trying to save a little bit extra fuel here and there. Holsteiner, Dylan Chapel kind of falling off the pack just a little bit, maybe trying to save a little bit more fuel. But everyone's single file out here early in this run. While we have the opportunity, we just do have a little moment from the virtual infield care center, as well as talk into Donnie Guy here, just to kind of walk us through what happened to that wreck there.
Oh, well, looked like, I mean, honestly, I couldn't see what happened, like, just from the perspective of the car. I seen a car sideways, but it was way too late for me to do anything about it. I just ate whatever was in front of me.
Yeah, it just, what kind of happened there was Meredith got a little bit of contact with I believe it was with Geikus. It just kind of, just sign draft gone wrong. You just kind of, you're wrong place, wrong time there. It's just unfortunate. You were running up there really well with that stage as well. Just, you had a really good night, and just talk us through how that night, how your night was going really, and just unfortunate what your confidence level was going into that final little bit of the race, but it just kind of breaks it up.
Well, I felt pretty good about the car. Me and my team have been working a lot on like tire saving and coming up with new methods to try to save the tires and testing it out across different leagues. So far it was working. I know stage 1 I had a slight tire advantage. And there in the second stage I was just trying to kind of bide my time. Just kind of riding where I need to, use the high lane when I have to, and just save as much rubber as I can. And it was about go time whenever I found my corresponding sponsor sitting on my hood. So.
Yeah, it was just an unfortunate incident for you there. Just kind of wrong place, wrong time, but you'll be packing up next week, and we'll see you next week at Sonoma.
Hell yeah, guys. Thanks for broadcasting, and thanks to Splash and Go Graphics for being on the hood this week, and JuicySpydr Studios for putting this thing on for us.
Yeah, once again, Donnie Kite from Virtual Infield Care Center there. As did have a passenger second there with Kenneth Cheney and Jimmy Geikis. The field's starting to kind of bunch back up a little bit as there are single file, but we're starting to see a little bit more moves here. It's getting later and later in this race, but Hunter Sr. though staying out front, so that's not going to be ideal for him as he'll be burning more fuel out front. Knowing how close it was on fuel there.
Yeah, I mean, you would think about 2 laps, probably the difference between the leader and the drivers behind him. I would think you'd probably be able to go 2 laps longer just staying behind Hunter Sr. like Kenneth Cheney is right now, just kind of staying behind, not using gas the whole way around the racetrack, maybe just kind of coasting a little bit more in the corners, saving a little bit more fuel, and using Hunter Sr. just kind of to carry you down the back, front and back straightaway.
Yeah, he'll be able to kind of just save off that draft, lift a little bit early on the corner, let the draft kind of just drag you along that final bit of the straightaway. But right now, Cheney just pushing his teammate.
I think that's kind of honestly what's going on right now for most of the pack. Like, no one's racing too hard. I mean, like we mentioned before, they've been racing hard all night long, but then all of a sudden you're not really racing that hard. It kind of just shows that definitely some fuel saving going on throughout most of the field.
And also knowing you're going to have that long run, so just gotta save your tires just a little bit more so you have a little bit to fight with in those final 5 to 10 laps, as this time by will be 20 laps to go, so we're getting closer and closer to that finish each lap that ticks by. But Geikis getting pushed now by Arnold as these top 4 nose the tail as they enter 1. No one dipping on a line though, so that shows you just how much they want to stay behind and just stay in that draft. Not burn too much fuel. I like I spread out a little bit off of turn number 1 and 2. Wilson tries to look to the bottom of Josh Arnold. Not going to be able to get there, but single filing back out. Coming to 19 to go. We're going to use this moment to do a little bit of an element crank it up here for Michigan. Back from our Crank It Up segment is now at 15 to go. So all these drivers single file still trying to save just a little bit more fuel. But Jacob Wilson, one of the drivers, trying to move his way up just a little bit. He's kind of had a quite nice thing just inside the top 10 all night long. And now he's trying to work his way up a little bit as everyone's just trying to single file line, save a little bit more fuel. We'll start to see this intensity start to pick up a little bit as we're about halfway through the run. So see the tire wear start to play a factor. We'll see what these drivers will start to do. But now Cole Snyder and Jacob Wilson side by side. Now it's Dylan Chappell and Jacob Wilson. As Wilson's gonna slide all the way back behind. Dylan Chappell is still kind of a gap to the leaders as the top three kind of pull away just a little bit over the rest of the field by about 3 or 4 car lengths.
Yeah, we saw side by side up ahead. Kyle Todd, Jimmy Geikus. As Geikus loses a lot of time there. He's gonna get shuffled all the way down to probably around 8th place, most likely behind Jacob Wilson.
Big moment off of turn 2 there. Lost a lot of time.
And for the race lead up front, here comes Kenneth Train on the outside of Hunter Sr. Will Sr. close the door on the exit? Yes, he will, but Chain's gonna have a good run, but Josh Arnold's inside lane. He's not able to use it inside. He's got to stay behind Hunter Sr. Arnold side dropped him hard down in turn 1.
Yeah, big side drive from Arnold. Arnold probably would have let Cheney maybe try and clear there, maybe push him, but right now, but it works out for Arnold there through 1 and 2 though, as Arnold moves up to 2nd. His top 3 is still about a couple car lengths ahead of Kyle Todd there in 4th. But Josh Arnold pushing Hunter Sr., but I'm worried about Hunter Sr.'s fuel maybe, because he's really far up front. He's been up front all night long compared to the others.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Dylan Chappell. He was up front for the first half of this race, but now in the second half, he's going to stay in the back, saving fuel most likely. I also think track position is pretty important. We've seen the race leader so far here tonight not really be able to get past too easily. Takes a few laps, takes a little bit of help behind as well, make the move stick. But right now, I'm seeing he's working both lanes a little bit, trying to get these guys side by side behind him.
Yeah, Senior right now clear, but he's clear by good bit. Now they're side by side. But Cheney, a little bit of contact on the front straightaway. As they're now the intensity starting to ramp up. Everyone trying to make their moves side by side for 2 deep now as they enter 1 and 2. This now the leader Hunter Senior able to pull away a little bit, use this opportunity. Could be slowing him down a little bit. Could be hurting him a little bit up front though, knowing how close the fuel was. But this time back, I'm going to tend to go. He's trying to block both lanes, trying to give the draft, trying to keep them side by side behind them. But we're down to 7 cars up front. As Jimmy Geikis is really falling off the back. Well, Jimmy Geikis really started to save a lot more. And he just really burned up his tires. I think that's what we're starting to see now. We're starting to see tire wear coming to factor here with 10 to go. There's Arnold to the outside of Cheney. Still side by side. Oh, but Chappell clears up. Slams the door shut on Kyle Todd there.
Cheney does the same exact thing there. This driver's trying to stay in line, stay in position. Right now, track position very important here, coming to 9 laps to go.
Yeah, track position means anything, and now I think they kind of got to work together, get single file so they can catch Hunter Sr. As now Arnold trying to bridge that gap between Cole Snyder and Hunter Sr. Is now Chappell pushing Snyder closer to Arnold. This gap's kind of closing down just a little bit between the race leader and the rest of the field. And so also see who was close on fuel, who will be able to make it on fuel. Fuel could be a little closer, maybe it could be a little longer than what we thought.
Yeah, Jared's being a little bit more aggressive here, so I think they might be good on fuel right now. Based on how they're racing, they're being a lot more aggressive, making a lot more moves. As some contact there.
Big move there from Arnold. He got a long side Senior off the corner and a little bit of contact. He's gonna be side drafted down the front straightaway, side by side for the race lead with 8 laps to go. But Arnold's got to try and get this move out as quick as possible because that door might shut behind him.
Slide job, not able to. Tried to. Yes, he will.
Oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna shut the door. A little bit of contact.
Wow.
He's gonna hold on to it. Almost gets turned to the outside wall, but now Hunter Senior falls back to second. He's gonna try and get that clean on the outside lane. He's gonna try and build his runs now, but we'll see if they can catch Josh Arnold out front. I think he's got really good tires, so he was able to make that move on the bottom. He actually pulled away by more through 3 and 4 there, and now they gotta chase down Josh Arnold for the race lead.
See if they can get around the race leader. Josh Arnold, Hunter Sr. was able to lead for the majority of the second half after the last caution. We'll see if Josh Arnold can hold off here for 6 more laps. Coming 6 laps to go, 12 miles in total. Behind them, Cole Sander, Dylan Chappell. Chappell's still trying to make his way up to the front. He led the majority of this race first half. He won the stage, and he won the race here. Sweep the stage in the race here tonight.
Yeah, but he's going to have to get single file and push those drivers in front of him up there if he wants to have a chance. Now Cheney moves to the outside, trying to make his move as these drivers are fighting for track positions, allowing Senior and Arnold to kind of get away. As now Snyder giving the draft to Dylan Chappell, his teammate, but now he's going to go up to block Cheney. He's going to be able to do it, but single files field for now. But this time by, coming to 5 to go, 10 miles left here from Michigan. The Senior gets really tight. He's going to get into the wall into 3 and 4, but down the front straightaway, trying to chase down the race leader. But it's Arnold holding down about 3/10 of a second lead. We'll see if Snyder has anything for him, if he can get by Senior.
Yeah, these guys have to work together. They're allowing Arnold just to maintain that gap. They're not really gaining on him. Right now, Arnold doing a good job, just not giving the draft on the straightaways. He kind of breaks the draft a little bit there. Again, about half a tenth that time down the back. But I mean, right now, these drivers, they have to work together, bump draft each other, do something different. Try to catch up to our race leader, Josh Arnold.
It worked really well there for Cole Steiner in 3 and 4. Allowed him maybe get a little bit cleaner on the bottom. Now they're breaking the draft. That's going to allow Cole Steiner to maybe gain a little bit more time on Hunter Senior, as he's just trying to block both lanes because he doesn't really have help from behind because they're side drafting each other behind him. A little bit of contact between Cheney and Chappell. But now Cheney looks to the middle between them, but that's going to cost them more time, as now Senior and Arnold staying around the same gap, but no one behind him can close. They're nose to tail now as Chappell falls in single file. So this might help them a little bit. They need to start gaining some more time. They want to have a chance. This time by 3 laps to go for Josh Arnold out front. Senior cannot close the gap. I think his tires are just starting to play a factor. He just burnt too much tires out in front. Now Cheney looks to the bottom there. Oh, Steiner into 1, but thinks better of it. But now I think it's just Josh Arnold right now. He saved his tires the best out of the rest of the field, and it's working out for him. He's been able to break the draft down the straightaway as best as he can. His drivers behind him just keep battling. That's the best for Josh Arnold, but here comes Cheney. Big move there. He's actually going to clear Snyder by a big margin, and now he's going to get all the way back to the back bumper of Hunter Senior. So Kenneth Cheney, really good tires to make that move there. If he can push Senior up to the race leader of Josh Arnold, maybe chase him down himself. 2.5 tenths with 2 to go.
This is close to the bend so far.
Closing that gap down.
Close as they've been in the last 6 laps or so. Under 2 tenths. Senior goes high. He's going to have a good run off turn 2. He's going to bump draft him here down the back. Yep,
Senior trying to follow Arnold as Arnold trying to break the draft down the back straightaway. Now Cheney, he looks to the bottom. He needs to try and get clear of Arnold, Senior here off the corner. He's going to be a side-by-side. This is going to hurt him a little bit. He has to get clear off the corner. Maybe hope Arnold comes down to block the draft, and he's going to be able to clear. Cheney's got an opportunity. White flag, 1 to go, but now a little bit of side draft still with Senior. He's able to do it, but Chappell now is trying to push Senior closer to Cheney, but through 1 and 2 for the final time. Arnold running the middle. Cheney closing down.
There's no help from behind, but he's have a huge run down the back straightaway. Arnold gonna break the draft on the bottom. They give Cheney the bottom lane here in 3 and 4. Cheney's gonna give him the bumper. Maybe he goes low.
And the wreck behind him. but Cheney to the bottom. They door tap for into 3 and 4, and Arnold's gonna go way up the racetrack, but Cheney with a little bit of dooring through 3 and 4, and a little bit of moving, but he's off of turn 4. Kevin Cheney with a drive in the final 3 laps. He picks up the win at Michigan.
Little beating banging here at Michigan, and Kevin Cheney picks up the win. Wow, what a finish there. Close that one out here tonight.
Yeah, what a drive. In those final 3 laps, he made a huge drive up through the field. Got by 3 cars in those final 2-3 laps. Oh, displeasure shown there, as they made a little bit of contact through the center at 3 and 4. Cheney gonna burn it down here on the front straightaway. As we'll definitely probably hear some words from some of these drivers after. So you already saw the displeasure on the cooldown lap. Kevin Cheney, he's gonna park it in victory lane. Do a little burnout in victory lane as well. But before we get to our top 3 interviews, let's take a quick break here for Michigan.
At NJBDesigns.com, we specialize in transforming your vehicle into a work of art by revolutionizing the way you see your car with the hottest trends in sim racing. Choose from a wide range of colors, textures, finishes to promote your business and sponsors in style. Whether you're looking to add a sleek matte finish, a flashy chrome accent, or a custom design that turns heads, our designers have you covered. If you want to stand out in the crowd, visit njbdesigns.com today and let our team of professionals transform your vision into reality.
Welcome back here to Michigan. As you just saw, Kevin Cheney able to take the win in the final corner pass, last lap pass over Josh Arnold. But before we get to our interviews, let's take a quick look at our results for tonight's event here from Michigan. Kevin Cheney able to take the race win over Josh Arnold. Hunter Senior able to take 3rd. Cole Steiner able to round out 4th. Dylan Chappell rounds out top 5. Jacob Wilson rounding out 6th. Joey Geikus finishing 7th. Nathan Johnson finishing 8th. Kyle Todd finishing 9th. And Zachary Randall our top 10. Our last driver lead lap, and our only driver, last driver to finish the race, as AJ Hudson finishing 11th. Donnie Kate finishing 12th. Brock Morris 13th. Jared Skeeter 14th. Giovanni Klein 15th. All DNFs tonight. but up top and up front all night long. Well, not all night long, but up front and got the move done when it mattered. Kenneth Cheney with a last lap pass through 3 and 4 there. What was your thought process in that final lap move there? And how were you able to get it done?
Yeah, no, that final lap was crazy. I was trying to push my teammate there, and I hoping that we could keep a gap there to the guys behind us until like 3 to go, and then I'll start trying to battle him. But just trying to climb my way back those final like 5 to 10 laps was definitely tough. And I saw an opportunity once I got back up there, and I passed my teammate. And, we were battling for second. Josh kind of messed up in 1 and 2, and I had to take advantage of it and take the run into 3 and 4. So. I mean, I didn't wreck him, but I definitely did door him. So, I mean, I know he's going to be a little bit upset about that, but it's racing, I guess. It's final lap sometimes, so.
Yeah, and you were able to drive your right very fast there, and just I think, what do you think you got that done there? Was that maybe the tire wear, and just how did the tire wear feel all night long as well through that final long run?
Yeah, no, I mean, the tire wear was definitely rough there on that final run. Like it would get tight like each time. So, and I think this was like our longest run tonight. So, yeah, I'm actually kind of glad that caution came out during the middle of like this final stage, because yeah, we would have been doing green flag pit stops, and that could have been kind of funky for sure. But yeah, I was just trying to manage the tires there throughout the race, and I just had just enough to catch Josh there at the end and make a move for the win. So. Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to get the win though, still come out on top before you start off on your way. Andy, special thank for tonight's race win.
Yeah, I'm gonna thank the High Side podcast. Josh and Donald are the hosts of that. Definitely a good podcast to listen to. They talk about NASCAR and just motorsport world in general. So definitely go check that out, and thank them for the sponsoring too. So yeah.
All right, well, once again, congrats on your race win, and we'll see you next week at Sonoma.
See you next week, guys.
So that was our race winner of Kenneth Cheney, and not in here yet is Josh Arnold, so not in the Discord. So we'll bring in our third place finisher now of Hunter Sr. So there, we'll bring in our third place finisher of Hunter Sr. there, as he was running there in second, but got passed by Cheney there with a couple laps to go. But still able to round out the solid top 3 finish tonight. But what was going through your head in those that final corner there? Maybe you thought you had a chance there off of 3, going into 3 and 4.
My final thoughts were to get back to the 22 and knock the hell out of him for running me into the wall for 1 for no reason. I don't understand. But we had a great car, had a chance to win, and kind of got ran like crap. All race actually. I've had multiple occurrences with him, so I don't know what was going on there. That's what I'm happy to have. When I saw Kenneth going in there, I knew exactly what was going to happen, because there's a reason that he's on this team, and there's a reason that he won that race, is because I know how he's going to drive, and I saw him coming, I let him go. That was the next thought. I knew that if I let him go, he was going to go catch the 22, and he was going to knock the crap out of him. So I'm really proud of what Kenneth did there, and I'm happy to see him win, especially as a teammate. After being on hiatus for so long, him coming out of nowhere and just smoking the field like it's nothing that's amazing, and I'm proud of him.
Yeah, you're still able to round out a solid P3 tonight, but we didn't really have a perfect fuel number. We thought it may be close there right at the very end. So how close were you guys on fuel right at the very end of the race?
I think I was sitting around like maybe a lap extra. I know once we were hitting, I think it was like, I can't remember, it was like 20 something to go, or 22 or something like that, and kind of doing the calculations and with the people in the chat, and in my head, something I was more nervous about, because I saw them all kind of dropping back, and one of the other guys in our chat kind of said that he was short on fuel, and I knew that I was like lap and a half, 2 laps good, so I was pushing it all I could for those last good 20 laps. So I mean, we were pretty good. It was close. I'm surprised a lot of those guys made it, because like I said, we had somebody in our chat kind of say they were short, so kind of surprised those guys made it.
Yeah, and you're still able to save enough fuel, make it, and get a solid top 3 run. But before you send off on your way, any link for tonight's third place run?
Oh yeah, most definitely. A High Side podcast for being on the car. I hate to kind of go out there and show my butt a little, but have them on the car is amazing to finish third. And I know back in Auto Club we didn't have a sponsor on the car, but to have JuicySpydr and Highside Podcast kind of supporting, this team it's amazing, and those guys have done a lot for us and helped me get it better in a lot of ways. So huge thanks to those guys over there.
You're still able to get a really good run for you tonight, and congrats on your third place run, and we'll see you next week in Sonoma.
Yes, sir. You guys have a good night.
So that was our third place finisher of Hunter Senior. We'll bring in our fourth place finisher of Cole Snyder, as Josh Arnold not here in the chat tonight, but Cole Snyder able to still round out a solid P4 finish tonight. Just kind of walk us through your race and how you're able to get a fourth place tonight.
Hey, I didn't expect to be talking to you guys. I'll step in for J-Paw here, who had a great race. How'd the race go? It's Daytona. That's what it feels like. But just a lot of drafting. You just have to control everything. You got to take runs. You got to block. Seems to be like everyone does that the whole race, and some people do it more aggressive, and you have to account for that. And how about the end of that stage? That was pretty wild, huh? Dylan getting that? That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, and we saw you up front battling kind of way you're up front as well, and all night long you're sitting up in that top 5. And you're able to slice and dice your way through the field here and there and get some moves done. Just how tough was it tonight? Just kind of get around those drivers and just kind of play the draft, the dirty air.
Yeah, using the dirty air, riding behind Dylan there I was killing my tires. So we noticed that and said, all right, for the last stint, we're gonna just try to save our stuff and go for it at the end. And I think we waited a little too late to go and try to get the lead, because by that time everything was more evened out. But still, we'll take top 5s as a team. Great points day for us as the team, and now we know for these kind of tracks, just saving your tires is definitely a little more important than we thought.
Yep, but you're still able to pick up a solid 4th place finish tonight. Before we send up automate, Indy's supposed to thank for tonight's 4th place run.
Oh yeah, thanks you guys broadcasting this thing. Donnie for running it as always. Shout out to everyone out there: Zach, Meredith, Josh Arnold, Dylan Chappell. We all try to run each other pretty clean. Sorry to Kyle at the end. I spun him out. I went low. He says I didn't make the turn. I made the turn. He came early. We just kind of met. It sucks. It is what it is. We'll move on. But shout out to everyone. This was a relatively clean race, and can't ask for anything more than that.
Yeah, once again, congrats on your 4th place run, and we'll see you next week in Sonoma.
Appreciate you. See ya.
So that was our 4th place finisher of Cole Snyder. It was definitely an interesting race tonight. We saw a little bit of tempers flared after the race, and also with a little bit of interviews as well. But definitely a interesting race tonight. It was definitely fun. It was definitely Kenneth Cheney able to get a heck of a drive in those final few laps, and able to steal that race one away. And just what's your final thoughts on the night, Talon?
Yeah, pretty much what you just said. I mean, I really did not expect anyone to catch up to Josh Arnold there at the end. But what a run Kenneth Cheney had throughout the last pretty much 5 laps. Wow, just great race overall. Just a great race. I mean, great stage finish, great finish overall, and just a fun race here at Michigan.
Yeah, and we go from a 2-mile racetrack, just kind of a big swing in driving styles as well, like we've been so far this season and this quarter. As next week we go to Sonoma of our first road course of the quarter, so definitely going to be fun to watch that next week. Before we get to there next week, coming up next here on the Legends Racing Network, tomorrow night we have the 5 Points Racing Turnkey Network Solution Series. They'll be going to the Rockingham at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And also on Wednesday night we'll have the Superstar Cup. They'll be going to the half-mile short track at
Be at Bristol, the Superstar Arca Cup, and Undisputed Cup Series will be the Legacy Texas on Thursday night. Friday night will be NAOR Auto Club Season 6 opener, and like I mentioned before, Stampede Racing League will be at Sonoma next week. First road course of the quarter number 2. So we will see you guys then tomorrow night at Rockingham.